Well, hey guys, Jess Stainbrook here with FSPN, that's Faith+Sports Programming Network, and I'm here with some special guests today, Luke and Hannah Rhodes. Luke plays for the Colts, and Hannah, his wife, and we're just going to have a conversation about some great stuff. How are you guys doing today?
We're great.
Great, Jess. Yeah, we're happy to be here and have a little chat and have some fun.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I've done a bunch of different of shows like this with other players and their families and stuff. And when we talk with Tony Dungy, who used to coach the Colts, right? He would talk regularly about faith, family, and football. And I think what I'm going to do is actually turn those around. So we'll talk about football, and it's the way Peyton Manning put it too: is faith, family, friends, and football in his book, right? Yeah. So we'll do football, we'll do family, and then we'll talk about faith. So I'm going to start with you, Luke, really about give me some background. I mean, I heard you're a PA boy, kind of the Midwestern side of things there, kind of near Altoona, right?
Yeah. Altoona was our rival growing up, and we played them in all sports and kind of played the same group of kids, but from Central Pennsylvania, and from there went on to play football at College of William and Mary in Southern Virginia, where I developed a really good relationship with my coaches and our staff, and they put me in touch with the right people and found an agent and started working out for the NFL and found my way here.
Cool. Well, there's a little bit more to the William and Mary stuff. I know that, man, because you were like an All-American linebacker or something, right?
Yeah, I started.
Hannah's going, come on. You can punch him. You can punch him.
Yeah.
I started for 4 years. I was a two-time captain, four-time all-conference, All-American. I had a good career at William Mary and had a lot of good players around me to my supporting cast.
For sure, man. Well, you got something, the Butt Kiss Award or something, right? What's that?
It's an award I was nominated for it. I think they nominate 50 linebackers in all of college football for the best linebacker in college football.
That's pretty cool, man.
But it was pretty cool to be nominated and going into my senior year.
Yeah, very cool, man. That's awesome. So tell me about the journey of you going from William and Mary into the NFL.
I've had a pretty interesting story. It's when I left William & Mary and started training for the NFL, I was training in San Diego with a trainer named Todd Durkin that my agent had set me up with. My agent was out of Orange County at the time. And so we were training. I was playing linebacker. Like I just said, I played linebacker my whole career through high school and college, and then went through the draft process, didn't get drafted, but signed a free agent deal with Tampa Bay right after the draft. And so when I went to Tampa Bay, I was there for training camp and playing linebacker. Had a good preseason there and got some good stuff on film. And when I was released on the final cuts from Tampa Bay, a couple weeks later, Indianapolis called and wanted me to come out for a workout. So I came out and did the workout, and they said some really good things, and I didn't get signed at the time. And it was a Tuesday after that, they called at like noon and said, we want to sign you to practice squad. How soon can you get here? And my mom was at work, my dad was at work, so I called them both. I was like, hey, probably won't be here when you get back because I'm leaving in 30 minutes to go to Indianapolis. And so I stopped by their work and said goodbye on my way out. And I've been here. So I got here in 2016. I played a season. I started on practice squad for a couple of weeks, doing linebacker, and was fortunate enough to be activated my last 4 weeks of my rookie year. So I got a credited season my rookie year on the active roster at linebacker playing special teams. From there, my special teams coach, my first year, I was showing him that I could long snap. I kind of learned how to long snap a little bit and never really did.
I got to know more about that, man. Like, because how do you just go, I'm going to go be a long – I mean, that is such a yeah, that's crazy to me. I mean, so I really want to hear that.
It was crazy.
Look, your head is laughing again. Like, come on.
Because I'm like –
it is crazy.
Yeah, I just – at the time, I was like, what can I say or do to just keep my name on the list for something? It's like I've always been able to throw a ball. Like I can long snap. So I would tell him I can long snap, and was doing it with my special teams coach after practice like 2 or 3 times a week. And kind of like was getting decent at it and could do it. And I was athletic enough and could block and cover and do all that stuff. And going into my second season training camp, I was playing linebacker, and now I was also competing for the job at long snapper. With that, like, that was a tough training camp, just trying to do both and like not knowing where my place was going to be. And, you know, if I make the switch to long snapper, can I really do it? If not, can I go back? Like, I didn't know if I'd be able to go back at all if I just happened to not be good at long snapping.
Wow. Putting it out there, man.
I was like, so I was going over with, you know, at the time, my girlfriend and my fiance and now my wife and my agent, my family and my coaches. And, you know, they were like, look, it'll be tough like this first year, maybe a little bit. I know you're athletic. You can play. We'll figure out the long snapping. If you want to do it, like, we'll trade the other guy and you'll be it. Like, this will be full time.
Wow.
And just after talking about it, we were like, I think it's a good decision for my career and my health and my long-term longevity in the league. And we were fortunate enough to just re-sign last year to another 5-year deal. So it looks like I'll be here through into my 30s.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
We'll be here.
Good place to be.
Yeah.
Well, and I like how you put it too. It's like, I was pretty good at throwing the ball. Yeah, but not with your head down, upside down, right? I mean.
Yeah, since then I've gotten a long snapping coach that has really fine-tuned my snapping mechanics, and so I can put the both together, athleticism and the snapping.
I remember a video. Clint Gresham is a friend. He was a long snapper for the Seahawks for a while, and he sent some video over where he was going to a tryout, and he's in the hotel room, and as far as he can get to the other end, he has like a garbage can set up in the bathroom. Yeah. And he's just voot upside down right into the garbage can. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
It's funny the things you come up with for drills, and my 7 coach just got lists of different drills that help, and you don't even think about.
That's the fun part of, okay, how do we get this guy upside down to chuck a ball, you know, into this little spot, right?
And I was lucky enough to have a special teams coach that really had faith in me, and the head coach at the time, Chuck Pagano, and Chris Ballard, the GM, were like, we're going to do it. We'll deal, like, you know, we'll be okay. Like, you'll make it.
That's really cool. Well, and I'm going to bring it up. You know, I think you're a pretty humble guy, but you are the highest paid long snapper right now. And that's huge, man. That says a lot about, I think, you and your character and your abilities. I mean, Hannah, what do you think of that?
Yeah, he's downplaying it a lot. I remember when he first was, because I mean he was stressed, like big time stressed. Well, sure. Even before that, when he was thinking about doing it, he was just like, I just want to play. So like what just trying to figure out like what I can do to play. And he was like, I'm just gonna try a long snap. Like it wasn't like he knew what he was doing. He was like, I'm just going to go for it and we'll see what happens. And like you said, I remember his coach that he had was very like on his side and like fought for him the whole time. But it took a lot of work. And that one training camp, I remember I was
playing 80 plays in a preseason game at linebacker, playing on the punt team, the kickoff team. And then the coach would be like, all right, go snap this one.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, so he's like exhausted trying to long snap, but he doesn't even really know how to do it yet. So it was a lot of hard work.
Cool. It was. Well, it sounds like it was good. It was good hard work.
Good hard work and a lot of good people in my corner.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I was digging around, and I found this, man.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I'm trying to get me one of them.
Yeah.
Dude, I got an extra one if you want. I could probably send it over.
I want to earn mine.
Yeah, we'll get those. But that's the one from Miami with
2006
with Tony. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I know. It was.
I've always said like I'd do anything to win a Super Bowl.
He doesn't talk about anything in the world more than he talks about a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well. Yes, hopefully you guys will get a chance
You're
to do it.
You're at the top of the ultimate team game. That doesn't get any better.
There it is, man. That's awesome. Well, let's go into some families. I mean, unless there's anything else about football that I don't know. It'll come up in some of the other stuff too. But so I'm just curious. How did you guys meet?
Go ahead. She tells you better than me.
All right.
So originally, I went to Christopher Newport University, which was like 30 minutes from William and Mary. And my best friend, her boyfriend played on Luke's team. And she went to one of their games. And I guess it was at the end of the game. And this was when Luke had his flowing locks. And he took off his helmet. And my friend saw him. And she called me immediately, and Luke and I had never met. I had never heard of, nothing. And she immediately called me and was like, I don't even know his name or I don't know anything about him, but I just saw this guy and you're going to marry him one day.
What?
And now look at us.
Yeah, and then
I know.
we kind of got introduced and we're talking over kind of like text messages and social media and developed a little relationship there, and then it was time to meet.
Yeah.
She flew out to Indy, and
Wow.
Well, that was in college, and then we went a few years.
Then when I went training in California to prepare for the draft and stuff, I was like, can't do this, can't do anything. I don't have time. All I can do, I got 3 months for the interview, basically, and she was like, all right, whatever. And then we kind of rekindled when I got back here to Indy.
That's cool. And you had some special kind of surprise, right, for the engagement, right? See, that's a smile again.
Engagement.
Oh, yeah. We went
You forgot.
I was like, what was surprise? I know. We have another surprise, too.
Oh, yeah.
We were going to Africa, and I was just kind of researching cool places in Africa where we'd be in South Africa, and Table Mountain in Africa was a hike. We like to hike when we go travel to wherever we're going, and it happened to be a hike, and it's beautiful on the top, and it's kind of flat, so you're in a good location. There's lots of people up there, and so I had the ring with me the whole time until we went and did that hike, and I was carrying it up and ended up doing it up there. I had a photographer ready when we got up to the top, and I was like, this is what we look like. You'll see us, you'll find us, and just kind of follow us around. And it was
pretty cool.
A good surprise.
Surprise, Hannah, or you knew it was coming?
I was definitely surprised, but I knew something the whole time he was being so funny the whole time. Like,
I was nervous.
On the flight and everything, he had this bag. And
I had the ring in my camera bag.
Yeah, I would ask him if he would want help, like, carrying it or whatever, and he'd be like, no, I got it. And then when we were doing the hike, he had the bag with him with the camera in it, and he was way in the back behind and was struggling, and I offered to help him, and he was like, no, I'm good. So immediately the competitiveness in me, I was like, fine, don't suffer then. Yeah.
See you at the top.
Yeah, and then we got to the top, and it's Table Mountain, so it's flat all across the top, and Luke's in shape. So we got to the top, and it had been 20 minutes or so. He was still he was winded, he was breathing heavy, and I was wondering, I kept
trying to
asking
find the
him
right spot. I was out of breath. Couldn't catch it.
I kept saying, are you okay? What's wrong?
Your heart's beating out of your chest, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. That actually brings back some good memories. I specifically let Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Valentine's Day pass. And my wife's roommates were like, what? He's going to ask you. Yeah. I didn't. I waited till like the middle of March, and as a matter of fact, we were in Altoona when it happened.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that
Propose your wife in Altoona?
Well, yeah. Because, she's from Pittsburgh. I'm from Philly. And then,
nice.
Yeah. So that's why when Teddy gave me your stuff on PA, I'm like, well, heck yeah. I mean, look at all the best players come out of Pennsylvania.
That's Pennsylvania. That's what I'm saying.
No, when they did a thing, and it said, I think PA was topped, Florida and Ohio were tied for second, but yeah, Pennsylvania is the place, man.
It produces a lot of Pittsburgh and Philly schools produce some players.
Heck yeah, man. In Bethlehem, Allentown, there's some guys out of there that are always coming out. I don't know what it is, good water or good food, man. So
blue collar.
Yeah, blue collar. That's it. That's for sure, man. Not taking anything from anybody. That's crazy.
Definitely.
Well, so let's see. So obviously you got married, and you got some other news. Why don't you spring that on us if you want to?
Yeah, we live north of Indianapolis in the city, and we decided we're going to move downtown for a couple of years just to be closer to work and maybe like have some fun and enjoy the city and all that stuff. And so we're planning all that. We downsized her car. We kind of downsized everything. And one day I didn't know. So I guess she wasn't feeling good for a couple of days. And we both kind of came home from separate places, and I'm just standing in the refrigerator, and she comes out of the bathroom, like holding what at the time I didn't know what it was. And she's like, well, what are we going to do about this? Like, I'm pregnant. And I was like, no, you're not. Like, what are you talking about? No way. And it was the best surprise we've ever had.
It was a big shock.
So we took 8 more pregnancy tests that day.
Yes, that day.
And then got a blood test.
Probably 30
and we were
minutes
like,
apart.
all right, I mean, it's got to be fairly accurate. Like, this might be real.
Nobody's messing with you.
We've just kind of been going through that process now, kind of learning, and it's been awesome.
Cool. How far along are you, Hannah?
20 weeks. Wow. Halfway. Wow. Yes. It's exciting.
And you know what you're having?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
There you go. There it is.
We got another boy coming.
Well, and so as I understand too, you guys are pretty much into fitness, and you did some cool stuff in your community. Why don't you talk about that? Because I saw the video, but you could tell me about it, and I might edit it into this show so people can see it as well. But yeah, tell me what you did kind of in this weird time.
Good.
Well, we've been doing workouts on our social medias live for people to follow that don't have equipment or anything at home, kind of just home workouts. They can follow live with us. And our community, the Pacers and the Colts, were putting together a donation center to raise money for the community centers for vulnerable people in Indianapolis. And we were thinking, like, what could we do to get a little bit of money, raise a little money for it? And we didn't want to just donate money and just be done with it. We wanted to just do a little bit more, help some more people. And we were just thinking about it. And she was like, why don't we collect donations and offer a live workout to the neighborhood and have everybody kind of just go down to the end of their driveway. It was a beautiful day out, or in their yard, and everybody do the workout themselves in their driveway, distance from everybody, and we'll collect donations, and then we'll send it away for the community centers. And that's kind of how it started. And we were just amazed by the turnout that we got. And we had so many people at the end of their driveway. Hannah left and drove down through the neighborhoods and just started videoing people. And it was a really cool experience to be able to do that for the neighborhood and for the community.
It was so much fun. So much fun. We had a huge turnout.
I know. I saw the video. It was really cool, man. This is very, very cool. Well, so good job, man. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Well, so I actually think that leads right into the next thing of, about your faith. And so I'm curious, did you guys grow up in Christian homes? Did you what was the background that, gives you such a strong sense now together as a couple?
Growing up, I grew up in a huge family. My mom was one of 10.
Huge.
All those 10 have 3 to 5 kids. My grandpa was one of 6 or 5 or 6, and they have all, huge families. So 200 people.
That must be a Pittsburgh thing.
Yeah, it must be.
No, that's the same from my side. All my family's from Pittsburgh, and my grandfather had 10 brothers and sisters. My grandmother had, I forget, my dad's family, 5 brothers. Like, holy cow, man.
Oh my goodness. It's wild.
It was so much fun growing up, and we had a great time. But we grew up in a Catholic family, and so faith was always there with us. And we kind of, unofficially reserved the front 4 rows of the church every Sunday with our family. And so I just grew up in a Catholic family. That's kind of my background in religion.
Cool. How about you, Hannah?
So my family is not nearly as big, but my mom works at a Christian preschool. So she's a preschool teacher at a Christian school. I've been going to church every Sunday since birth, I guess. So it's just always been a huge part of my life as well.
That's cool.
Since we've been here, our team chaplain runs a Christian church in Whitestown that we've really grown with and have met with and stuff. And so we've really developed our Christian faith together here through that church, I guess.
That's cool.
We've grown a lot. I think that we both just going throughout life, like we both kind of fell off of it for a while. So when we just like when we bought the house here and everything, we started talking to Eric, and that's the team.
The pastor,
yeah. And he's just like, he brought both of us back and has kind of helped us grow together within our faith. So it's been nice being here in Indy with him.
That's cool. So what's the name of your team chaplain, Eric?
Eric Simpson. He runs Eagle Church in Zionsville, Whitestown.
Cool. I knew Kenny Johnson pretty well because he did a bunch of that stuff.
Eric's been the chaplain for like 12, 15 years.
Wow.
The Colts.
Very cool. Well, so I'll ask, here's the big question. I mean, this is the question that I ask when I'm at the Super Bowl, because I have very limited time with guys, but I appreciate you guys actually kind of letting me dig in deeper and just talk about life. I think people really appreciate hearing that side of things. But, my question is, so for you, Luke, at least, how does your faith play into who you are on and off the field?
Yeah, I mean, I've realized through my faith and just like growing up, I've always kind of had like a leadership mentality, and like always somehow found my way into a leadership role, and have had people, looking up to me. And I realized like I need to be using my gifts and what I've been given to help others. And I think like my faith has really pushed me to realize like this didn't just come from nowhere. Like I've been given these gifts for a reason to help other people, and just it's helped me connect closer with my wife and our future child. And I just really think it's helped me grow as a person to realize like I'm not in control, of what's going on. I've someone I can lean to and talk to and just learn from, every week and every day.
How's that play out for you, Hannah?
His connection?
No, both for you. I mean, you're on your own too, but again, I recognize, that there's, as we bond together in marriage, like it says in the Bible, two become one. And so, even though I'm talking to him about the field side, I'm sure he looks to you, and there's this bond there. So yeah, how's that play out for you guys together?
Yeah. I mean, really the same. I think the same thing that he said kind of goes off the field as well. We try to be, in our marriage, like we try to be good role models to others too. I think that, which our relationship is not perfect by any means. I think, I think that we do, and whatever platform it is, like whether it's social media or whatever, whatever it is, our relationship is built on, like we're growing and it's been built on the faith. And I think that people recognize that and they notice that, and that feels good for us. Like I'll have friends that will ask me like, how, they ask me for relationship advice all the time because they think that, like I said, it's beautiful. It's not perfect, but just like, how to be just, I guess, role models as far as like how a relationship should look.
For sure. So are you guys involved in, I know the team has some stuff, but are you guys involved in any like Bible studies or small group studies or anything like that? Or, what's your discipline, if you will, for kind of staying in the Word?
We're not really we should be. We're not really a part of any.
You have the team Bible study.
Yeah, I do. I have the Colts women, the ladies of the team. Yeah.
You can say that. I'm proud.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
During the season, we do have a Bible study. It's only during the season, but we have that then But other than that, I mean, we're trying, especially during this quarantine, we're trying to be better about just having like a study between ourselves more often with
Sure.
Eric, however we can.
We've been streaming the Sunday service on TV.
Right.
And
Yeah.
during the season, Eric does a chapel for us Saturday nights before the game, and
It's
Cool.
yeah, it's definitely tough for us sometimes though, because we're not always in Indy. So we try to it's a lot.
play on Sundays, so that's
Yeah. No, you play on that day, so it has to be a different day and different focus. Yeah, for sure. Well, I don't know if you're familiar with. So we work pretty closely with YouVersion, the Bible app.
Oh.
Phone. Yeah, and we created so you can find. Let's see, you can find their stuff. I'm trying to think if I've got a. It's like the little Holy Bible app. Let's see.
okay.
Oh yeah, Holy Bible.
Little Bible looking thing. But as part of that, we actually created some stuff for different folks to dig in and it's called the Faith, Family, and Football Challenge.
Nice.
Yeah, so you can do some reading plans on here, and they're pretty cool because you go in and these particular plans that I wrote have to, they're like 7 days, right? And it just kind of walks you through this thing of, hey, how do I get closer in my walk to Christ? How do I, be a better role model, stuff like that. So yeah, it's actually been pretty powerful, and there's some really cool things in there. What else do you want to share about, I don't know, life, words of inspiration maybe that you guys got for people, or, maybe what's coming up next for you? I mean, the 2020 season, man, shoo. I hope it happens, right?
I know, especially, during this time we've started our virtual practices and meetings. We started those yesterday. So it's actually it seems like it's going to go very well for as long as we're still quarantined. We're doing Zoom meetings with our coaches, and they've kind of figured out the technology side of how to share everything they need to over apps and stuff like that. So the off season, I think, will run smoothly. If we're able to get into the building, a couple weeks before the end of the OTA off-season period ends, that'd be great, just to get get familiar with the new players and teammates that we have. And if not, if training camp's the first time that we get to meet, we'll make the best of it. And just like every team's got to do it. So
are you still is Adam coming back?
We're still waiting to see. He's still recovering and starting to feel good. So that's going to be his decision, I think. So
yeah,
we hope so.
Yeah, we always hope so. We love him.
Guy's got a leg, man.
He's had a leg for a long time. I think he's still got some juice left in him.
Isn't that incredible? That's
crazy.
awesome.
I've learned a lot from him over the years. So
He's
kind of seen and done it all in the league.
Yeah, I met him a few times at the various Super Bowls when with the Patriots and with the Colts and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty
He's only been to 5 or 6. So
yeah, I know, right? It's ridiculous. That's crazy.
Nuts.
Well, anything else I haven't asked you or that you want to share? I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us, with our network. And
I know our schedule is really busy now with everything.
Jam-packed.
We got so many places to go and do. But no, we were really glad you made the time for us, and glad we could get on here and share a little bit of our story and our walk of faith.
Yes.
Well, it's good to get to know you. I hope so I'm usually at every Super Bowl, and I get a chance to interact with the players there.
We'll see you this year then.
That's my point, is to say I'll get a chance to see you when you're there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. Well, thanks, guys. Good hanging out with you.
You too. Thank you, Jess.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, man. Have a great day.
See ya.
See ya.